Bossman, football, gaming, culture.
May 24th, 2026. 10 games kicked off simultaneously, and 10 decades worth of stories were written in the Premier League, or should I say, rewritten in the Premier League. That was a wonderful final day. Game week 38 was amazing. It gave everything it should give. Yep, Arsenal lifted the trophy finally after 22 years. They got their hands on that trophy and had their trophy celebration. Pep Guardiola said goodbye to Manchester City after 10 years and 17 trophies. Mohamed Salah played his last game for Liverpool. Casemiro said goodbye to Manchester United. City stars Bernardo Silva John Stones said goodbye to Manchester City. Sunderland qualified for Europe in their first season back in the top flight. They qualified for Europe for the first time in 53 years. So many stories. Bruno Fernandes broke the all-time Premier League assist record that has been standing for several years. Yeah, this is Bossman. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not following, make sure you follow, leave a like, drop a comment in the comment section, and let's round up all the story from the last day of the Premier League season. Yep, game week 38 cooked. So let's check it out. Let's cook. Let me bring you everything, all the reviews, all the goals, everything you missed, every story you missed from the final day of the Premier League season. So let's dive right in. Let's cook. First game we'll be looking at is Brighton versus Manchester United. This ended Brighton 0, Manchester United 3. Was at the Amex Stadium. Funny enough, I predicted a draw in this game. United coming in after their 3-2 win over Forest. Brighton also coming in after losing to Leeds in that game where they had all the chances and Leeds had only one chance in game week 37. So I thought it was going to be a draw because Brighton had to, had something to prove after losing their last game. And United really didn't have anything to play for left except for Bruno Fernandes' assist record. That's all United were playing for really in this game. But oh my word, was I shocked. As a United fan, this was pleasantly surprising for us. We took the game by the scruff of the neck. United really didn't play much in the first 30 minutes. Brighton had more of the possession, to be honest. But after United's first corner kick in the 32nd minute, that led to Dorgu's goal and led to the record-breaking moment in the Premier League. Yes, Bruno Fernandes took the corner kick in the 32nd minute that led to Dorgu's goal, United's first goal of the night, and that was his record-breaking assist of the season in the Premier League. 21 assists to break the record that has been held by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne for a long time now. They had 20. Bruno tied with them on 20 in the last game against Nottingham Forest, and then in this game he broke the record out and out. So he's the leader, he's the assist king. Put some respect on his name, put the crown on his head. El Magnifico, El Capitan. He's out and out the assist leader of the Premier League. Yep, he has made history. He's now in the record books, no matter what you guys do. Now, Brian Mbeumo got the second goal for United in the 44th minute. After United got the first goal, they took control of this game, and Brighton never found a way back. Goal was assisted by Amad Diallo after a 1-2 with Mason Mount. Beautiful goal. And Bruno Fernandes capped off a beautiful man of the match performance with a goal in the 48th minute after the halftime, when the second half started. So that was a wonderful display by United. 3-0 winners. Bruno won the PFA Player of the Year and got his assists boots king as the king of the assists for the season and in the Premier League as a whole. Malacia and Casemiro said goodbye to Manchester United, and that was the story of the day. Next game, we have Burnley versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. I predicted 1-1 in this game, and it ended exactly 1-1. Two relegated teams with nothing left to fight for. This is their last hurrah in the Premier League before going table 19th and 20th, and they both go down. Next game, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. This was a title party for Arsenal. I predicted a 2-1 win, and that was exactly what happened. Crystal Palace won, Arsenal 2. Arsenal got their 2 goals first. Gabriel Jesus got one in the 42nd minute, and Noni Madueke got his in the 48th minute from a corner that was flicked to the back post. Crystal Palace did get a consolation goal by John-Philippe Mateta in the 88th minute, but that was all they had to. There was a goal. There was a second goal for Crystal Palace, but it was ruled out by VAR by Pino. And after that, Arsenal just lifted their title, had their party. I watched it. It was quite emotional for them. They enjoyed it. Mikel Arteta, gave a speech. It was great. It was great to watch for neutral, but not for me as a United fan. It kind of hurt me. But yeah, good luck to them in their next game, which is the Champions League final. Am I really wishing them good luck? Well, whatever. Congratulations to Arsenal. They are the champions and the well-deserved champions because they even won it before the last day. The title didn't go to the last day; they won it with one game to spare. So they lifted their title, had their party, and that was it. Was basically about the party. Nothing would have spoiled their party today. Even if it was a draw or a loss for Arsenal, they would have still had their title party. So they are the champions. Congratulations to them. They've been waiting for this since 2004. So kudos. Fulham, next game, Fulham versus Newcastle. This ended Fulham 2, Newcastle United 0. I predicted a draw in this one, but Newcastle came in and didn't show up in this game at all. They finished the season with a whimper, to be honest. We expected more from them, but they ended up not qualifying for Brentford. I predicted Liverpool to win since it's their last game. Anfield, Mo Salah's last game, he did, although he did star in this game, in his farewell game against Liverpool, and he broke the record for the highest number of assists for a Liverpool player in this game. So he's now the assist leader for Liverpool, and with the goal he created for Curtis Jones. Sade got the equalizer for Brentford, and this game ended 1-1. Andy Robertson and Salah were substituted in the second half, and they both got a standing ovation because it's their last games for Liverpool. They are bowing out as Liverpool legends. So, next game, Manchester City versus Aston Villa. This is Guardiola's last game for Manchester City. His farewell game after being at the club for a decade. And he has won so many trophies for City. I think about 17 in total. Arguably one of the best managers of all time. I'm not going to agree that he's better than Sir Alex Ferguson because that's my daddy right there. That's my manager right there. So he's not better than Ferguson, but after Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola is the best manager. So I'll say he's the second best manager ever. That's what I would say. That's in my own words, he's second best manager ever. But anyway, they came into this after a draw against Bournemouth 1-1, and Villa also came in after a very wonderful result, beating Liverpool 4-2. I expected that they were going to draw or lose this match because of, Europa League, but yay, they shot first goal for City in the 23rd minute after sustained pressure by City. And City, let's say they won the first half more or less, but second half, Oli Watkins and Aston Villa came out and took the game by the scruff of the neck. Oli Watkins got the goals. It was ruled out for offside, but VAR confirmed that there was no offside in the goal. And then he also got the second one where he jinked in through the area and slotted in past Trafford. That was actually a very good goal. So Pep Guardiola, end of an era. Bernardo Silva and John Stones also leaving City. They got subbed and they were given the guard of honor during the match. I don't know when we started doing that, but the match was stopped and they were given a guard of honor during the match when they were subbed for City. So, yeah, big shout out to City. Big shout out to Pep Guardiola. They had a send-off party for him. It was amazing. Next game, Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. This ended Nottingham Forest 1, Bournemouth 1 at Nottingham Forest ground. Just as I predicted, a draw in this game to round. Sunderland 2, Chelsea 1. That's the next game. Sunderland 2, Chelsea 1. Mind you, all the games are played at the same time, so I'm just reading out in the way that it is here. Now, Sunderland got 2 goals against Chelsea. Action from me in this one. Hume and Gusto goal through Kopama, but that was just a consolation because they were well and truly beaten. Sunderland scored that late winner and won the game. Oh, the gap between two outcomes is very staggering. Quite disappointing for them. Sunderland, for me, one of the biggest surprises of the season, if you ask me. Yep. Next game, Spurs versus Everton. Tottenham Hotspurs versus Everton. This one ended 1-0 to Spurs. Spurs, I predicted were going to win the game 1-0, and they did win the game 1-0. They needed this game to stay in the Premier League. If they had lost this game, they might have gotten relegated depending on West Ham's result. And yes, West Ham's result was good for them, was good for West Ham, but it didn't matter because Spurs won their own game. João Palhinha got the goal from, it was excellent in terms of the fact that they got survival. West Ham versus Leeds. This was the other game that the relegation was riding on. So it was either going to be West Ham or Spurs. West Ham won their own game 3-0. A very exciting match. Very exciting match. First half, they didn't get any goals, but in the second half, Castellanos, Bowen, and Wilson turned it on. They got the goals in the 67th minute, 79th minute, and the 90th minute. And they were able to beat Leeds, which I predicted, yes, that West Ham would beat Leeds. Spurs would beat Everton. But because West Ham already are in the relegation spot, they will be the ones to get relegated. So I was right about that. It was an exciting game. They cried at the end of it, of course, because I mean this team is too good to be going down. Let's look at the players that they have and look at the team that they have there. They're surely not the third. They're surely not the third worst team in this league. If you look at their players, they probably just didn't play with enough fight. They didn't probably play with enough heart over the course of the season. Missed too many chances. Had too many lackluster performance. Threw away too many points that they shouldn't have thrown away. Yeah. Imagine Bowen, even with 9 goals and 11 assists, that's 20 goal contributions. You're still in a team that was relegated. It's shocking, very shocking. And that was the last game of the Premier League season. They finished their game and they had to wait and hope that Spurs conceded to Everton because there was 10 minutes additional time in the Spurs-Everton match. So everybody was waiting and hoping, but it didn't look like Everton were ever going to score in that game, to be honest. And they needed to score 2 to save West Ham. So the more time went in that game, the more West Ham were sure of their fate that they were going down. Unfortunately for them, that was what happened. Now let's dive into the award segment. Now, this is season finale segment. It's not just the week. This is the final day, final awards, the biggest stories of game week 38, the ones that defined the season. Of course, season champions, winners of the week. I would say, well, for me, it's two. It's two people. Is those that won the league, which Arsenal, and the second team for me would definitely be Spurs for surviving on the last day because they still could have gone down. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. But standout breakout team for me of the season, that would have to be Sunderland. Standout team of the season, breakout team of the season, Sunderland. They came up from relegation, from championship, and in their first season back, they got to play, or they're going to play in Europe. Not just Europe, they're going to play in the Europa League, not even the Conference League. Brighton will play in the Conference League, and Sunderland will play in the Europa League. Big shout out to them. Them and Bournemouth will be in the Europa League. And I believe just also Crystal Palace will play in the Europa League because they won the Conference League. So that's 3 teams for the Premier League in the Europa League. Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and Sunderland. Brighton will play in the Europa Conference League. Then the rest of the big boys will play in the Champions League. Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, who are the champions, and Aston Villa. Of course, record breaker of the season, my player of the year, my player of the season is BRUNO FERNANDES with the record number of assists that he got, 21 assists. He is my player of the season. Farewell of the season, there's so many of them actually, like very emotional departures. Guardiola topping the list, of course. Then Casemiro, of course. Then you have to talk about Bernardo Silva, John Stones. John Stones not so much, but he's very important to City. And the likes of MOHAMED SALAH after breaking the assist record. So he's the Liverpool king, Egyptian king, and he's also leaving Liverpool. So yeah, those are legends that are all leaving this season. Next season will look so different. Different managers, different players. And heartbreak of the season has to be West Ham. Honestly, I have a lot of close friends that support West Ham, and it broke my heart. Declan Rice even put out a very heartfelt message to West Ham saying that it broke his heart that they got relegated. But one thing he's sure of is that they're going to come back next season. I do believe that if they keep the heart or the spine of their team, they can come right back up. But if they miss out on coming back up next season, then the longer they stay there, the harder it's going to get for them, really. My goal of the season, that's a tough one, honestly. I don't want to do goal of the week now. I want to do goal of the season. My goal of the season will probably have to be, I have quite a few. I have that, what was that Fulham player? Was it Barnes? The shot against Liverpool. Soboslai's free kick against Arsenal. Castellanos' volley. What team did he get that volley against? Anyways, I'll round that up for you guys in another video. But yeah, and Golden Boot winner definitely Erling Haaland. He finished the season as the Golden Boots with the Golden Boot with the highest number of goals scored. So let's look at the final Premier League table of the season. Premier League standings. Arsenal are champions, of course, with 85 points and 44 GD. Slightly better GD than Man City. Man City already gave away the title before the last day, so they finished on 78 points. They lost their last game, and that gave Arsenal the title. They drew the last game, lost, so they got 1 point from their last 2 games from a possible 6. Arsenal 85, City 78. United finished 7 points behind City with 71 points, which is not too bad for a team that was wallowing in first half of the season. Aston Villa did great to finish above Liverpool, 5 points above Liverpool, which is very, very comfortable. They won their last 2 games against Liverpool and against Man City. Can you imagine those 2 games? I thought they were going to lose all points, but they got 6 points against Liverpool and City, and finished 65. Liverpool finished 60 points. Luckily for them, um, the teams below couldn't get wins. If not, Liverpool would have been pushed out of the Champions League spot. Bournemouth on 57 points, Sunderland 54 points, both of them going to Europa League with Crystal Palace, who won the Conference League. Brighton is going to the Conference League on 53 points and 8th position, and Brentford and Chelsea round up the rest of the top 10. Brentford needed a result on the last day to get into the Europa League play, into the European spots, but they couldn't beat Liverpool to do that. Chelsea, terrible, terrible season for them. World Club champions, ended up now in 10th position. So sad. No European football for Chelsea next season. And the rest of the table, Fulham in 11th, 12th is the Newcastle. Another disappointing season for Newcastle. In fact, they're one of the flops of the season for me, if I have to say so myself. I expected Newcastle to be in the top 8. Now they finished in 12th. So flop of the season, Newcastle, Chelsea, West Ham. Those are my flops of the season. Burnley Wolves, we already saw that they were going down right from the first part of the season. Everton finished in 13th, Leeds in 14th. Crystal Palace, who just won the Europa Conference League, finished in 15th. Nottingham Forest did well enough for themselves. They went on that winning run, which saw them finish 16th. Spurs escaped on the last day with 41 points and finished in 17th place. West Ham, Burnley, and Wolves in the bottom 3 and are going down at the end of the season. And there's your roundup of the Premier League game week 38, final day of the season. Big shout out to everybody. Thanks for being part of this. Remember to leave your comments in the comment section. Tell me who was your player of the season, who's your team of the season, who's your flop of the season. And I will see you guys in a few. The World Cup is coming. Don't forget, Champions League is coming as well. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League? Do you think Arsenal is going to do the double, or do you think PSG is going to take it away from them? And then very soon we'll be jumping into the World Cup. June 11th, World Cup starts. I can't wait. See you guys soon. Bossman talking to you. Cheers.